Everything about I don't even rap. So what is this? K-pop, bitch, yeah. I'm already ready. My tank is unleaded.
Alright, what's good with everybody? Welcome back to the channel. If you're new, welcome. What's good? My name is Anthony. I hope you guys are having a good day. Today, I'm kind of just doing one of these sit down and talk videos, kind of rambling, where I just speak my mind about certain issues. I've actually made about 2 or 3 of these, 2 of them of which being about Treasure 13 and their debut, and one of them being a community question where I asked you guys if you guys thought that K-pop fans forced themselves to like songs. If you guys want to check those out and participate in the community discussion, then feel free to check out the links in the description, but that'll be the only thing down below. Before we get started, I want to say that this is more of a serious mannered video. Also, I have some notes down here that I will occasionally be looking at just so that I'm making sure that I'm hitting all of my bullet point marks. But basically, that's all I got. I'm kind of just going to be speaking from my mind and making sure that I hit these bullet points and say what I have to say. So this video is titled K-pop fans or stans must be stopped. And I kind of just want to jump right into it. Like, just tell you guys what this is about. Now, there's 2 main things that I'm addressing. For one, I think I may have been a fan of K-pop for maybe like 14 months. Maybe like 14 months. That sounds accurate. And you guys may have more experience with these things and you guys may know more of these things. So this is why I kind of want to just say what I have to say and see what you guys have to say in the comment section. As a disclaimer, I want to say that this video is not targeting any specific fandom or saying that these fandoms are to blame of the actions that I am going to mention. I'm only mentioning them because they are the ones that I've seen, and sure, there are more girl groups than boy groups fandoms that I've seen these issues in, and I'm also not trying to defend anyone that may have some controversy around them. I am only mentioning them because, again, the situation and the circumstance. With that being said, I'd like to jump right on in and say the 2 issues that I think are very annoying and infuriating on Stan Twitter is stream X by X and fan cams. Fan cams more than the streaming saying, but I just like to go over both of those. So the first thing is stream blank by blank. So for example, it'll be a reply on any type of tweet saying stream Boy With Love by BTS or stream Butterfly by Luna, stream Breakthrough by Twice, etc., etc. You guys know what I mean. And the fan cams, obviously fan cams are footage of a group or a particular member in a group dancing, doing a live stage. And what I mean by fan cams being an issue is that people are replying with fan cams under unrelated tweets or tweets that they shouldn't be replying with those under. Now, I do know that fan cams are kind of like a inside joke or a meme within the K-pop community, and it's cool to have inside jokes because other people won't know what it is unless they know about K-pop. And so that's like the benefit of having inside jokes. But of course, I was always told that there's a time and a place for everything. And I think that that applies with everything in life, especially these issues that I'm about to go over. So the first thing I would like to go over, like what I started off with early off in my introduction to K-pop, was the streaming thing. So I would always see K-pop fans bringing down other artists, whether they have some issues around them or they just are trying to promote their favorites. So the stream this by this and the fan cams are obviously all attempts to bring more attention to their favorite artist or groups. And of course, there's no issue with that. You know what I mean? But I don't think that anybody should be trying to step on anyone else trying to pursue anything just to bring their faves up. I think that's like an opportunist, if I'm not mistaken, not minding if it brings anyone else down in the process. Let's say, for example, One Direction was still a thing and they were getting ready to prepare a new album. You would see K-pop stans under there in different fandoms saying stream blank by blank, or y'all heard something, or just completely redirecting and not acknowledging these people that they follow or they went and gave their time of day to reply to their tweet, and just like shitting on their artistry. I think that nobody understands how that feels unless you're creative yourself and you're working on things that you're trying to put out to the world, and you know it's stuff that you're creating from your soul and your heart, and you're putting your hard work and effort into it, and people are just like redirecting the people that are there or just trying to shit on you for no reason. That is an issue to me because I also make music. I also try to create content and other things, and if that were happening to me, I think that I would be pretty upset. That was the initial distaste that I had with those comments. Like at first I'm like, okay, that's kind of weird, like they all kind of do the same thing, but then after I seen it happen to some of the artists that I like and stuff like that, it kind of just got really annoying, and then it advanced into the fan cams. Most of this video is actually going to be talking about the fan cams because I think that that is more of an issue, but they do tie hand in hand and work interchangeably. The first issue that I ran to that was kind of like, was when XXXTentacion died. Now, listen, I understand that there's stuff that goes on around that name. I know all about it, and I'm not defending anything regarding it. I'm just mentioning the situation in which I seen. At the end of the day, someone passed away. Someone's life was ended short, and at an age that I was at the time, 19 years old, okay? Or 20 years old. 20 or 9. How old am I? And people are under there, stating their opinions and also, telling people to stream songs and replying with fan cams. And I think at the end of the day, someone young died. And I think that whether or not you agreed or like the person, I don't think that, you should be doing stuff like that just because it's empathy, maybe. I don't know. But if I didn't like a person or someone, was doing X and X or had this air around their name, I wouldn't go and try to say, well, they wouldn't have passed away or their life wouldn't have been ended if they listened to BTS's new album. Like, that just sounds so horrible. And I think that it is it's like you're lacking human emotions in a sense. That was the first issue that I ran into with something like that. I thought that was crazy. I've never seen anything like that in my life. So I kind of was taken a bit aback by it because I'm like, bro, there's people out here doing that? Like, what? And before I even go any further, I would like to acknowledge, I know that people say that it's not people in the fandom doing that. It's people trying to put a bad name to the fandom's name. And I think that that's partially true, but I also think that it is people that are inside the fandoms and outside the fandoms actively doing it, and you just can't differentiate which one it is. And so it's people hiding behind the fact that they know that people inside the fandom will say, oh, well, it's just antis. It's probably both. And whether or not, it's just everybody's human, and I feel like these should be things that people are thinking about before they go out and tweet or attempt to troll. The next situation I would like to talk about is actually like 7 or 8 months ago. I think there was an issue with Cupcake. Cupcake is a rapper, a female rapper from the US, and her music is very vulgar and very in your face. I actually have a friend who used to play her music every single time he got in the car, and we tried to not give him the aux cord because he would turn the music up so loud, and all you would hear is, her saying these very vulgar things. And I believe she tweeted saying that she would like to have sex with Jungkook. She worded it differently, but this is just for the sake of the video. And K-pop fans or armies went to her social media and was, jumping on her, and then also went to her Instagram, went off to a different platform to tell her to kill herself. And she had some tweets, responding to that, saying that if it was reversed, if Jungkook said that about her, then, she wouldn't have gotten mad or sent her fan base to go and attack them. And I was like, what the heck? Like, why would this even be a thing when there's armies who have whole Twitter accounts and Instagram accounts making stories, like full detailed ass stories with photoshopped pictures and explicit images and stuff all over Twitter, saying the same thing, but much more in depth. And because someone else that was outside of the fan base did it, then it was an issue. And I think that people may have gotten upset about that more so because she has a platform, and that there was more of a chance for the guys to be able to see that. But I don't know, maybe she thought that she was able to say stuff like that because she may have seen some of you fan accounts. You know what I mean? That's just the way that I was looking at it whenever I heard about this situation. And when I noticed that she tweeted saying that she was going to commit suicide, people said, we won, we finally got her, it's about time. Or, she wouldn't be thinking about this if she streamed this and listened to this, or if she helped us get this, come back to this many views. And stans seem to have gotten to this point where they focus so much on views. At first I thought it was just streaming on YouTube and Spotify and Apple Music trying to get their charts up. But no, they care about it on Twitter, Instagram, these plays, the numbers, that anything regarding numbers and their favorite artists or groups, that's what they're focusing on. And they care about nothing else. And it sucks because it makes you so insensitive to the things around you. And so there was a couple of pages that I've actually seen, saying like they were disgusted with some of the army for doing stuff like that, or, not noticing that she was in a bad state of mind from the backlash that she got from saying that about, that she wanted to do that with Jungkook. People still kept going, and the internet is so vicious. But like I said again and again, I've never seen anything as bad as K-pop stans on Twitter. Like, I used to think Reddit was like super mean, because I've seen some really mean things on Reddit, but K-pop fans just take it to a whole different level. They could be brutal, they could be hurtful, they could literally break you down to dust, and they could also, on the opposite end of the spectrum, they could be super nice, they could be angels, they could be your best friends, you could have pen pals, lifelong friends from sharing the same interest, and it's so much power that they have, you know what I mean? I've mainly seen it with girl groups, like I said, Stan Luna, Red Velvet, who else? Mamamoo, just Blackpink too. But I think Luna was the worst that I've seen. And again, I'm not blaming the entire Orbit fan base or anything like that. I'm just saying from my experience, that is the main thing that I've seen. The minority can speak for the majority, and those minority of being trash, like very distasteful human beings, they leave the most impact on my mind. Like when I think of it, I think of, there's so many good people, and then I always think of but in the back of my mind because of the things that I've seen people say and do. And it's like that with most fan bases, and it sucks because I can't really, it's very hard for me to acknowledge all of the positive when the negative is so strong. But again, there's a bunch of fan bases that do a bunch of positive things on the inside, but that's besides the point. It's extremely bothersome to see it in places that don't make sense. Western artists trying to make name for themselves and come bigger, different K-pop groups that are getting ready to promote their comeback. Other groups are always trying to shit on their comeback because their faves already came back and it needs more views, and it's just so ridiculous. The next artist I would like to talk about is Cardi B. Again, I understand that there's stuff regarding Cardi B that people don't like about her. I think still at the end of the day, there was a tweet where she tweeted that she was in a bad place, essentially. People did the same thing to her. People went to her, said, oh, well, you wouldn't feel this way if you watched this fan cam, or you wouldn't feel this way if this, or just simply responded with the fan cam. It just doesn't make any sense. But the one that pissed me off the most was Cameron Boyce, the Disney Channel star that passed away recently. Again, another young one that died in his sleep. And people literally went under that and said, oh, well, he wouldn't have died if he streamed this and fan cams. And it's like, bro, when does this end? I understand trolls. I've been in the gaming community since 2012. I've been on the internet since a young dude, and I know trolls, but I've never seen it to this extent. And it's really getting hard to believe that it's just trolls rather than that's how these people are. It's hard to tell. But the factor that made me want to talk about this today, because I've been thinking about this for months, was actually this issue that Taylor Swift's fans and Ariana Grande's fans had today. And I believe it was something happened with the Taylor Swift fans and the Ariana Grande fans, and it somehow ended up getting blamed on the K-pop fans. So they ended up trolling them and making the Ariana Grande is over hashtag trend, which we know that K-pop fans are able to make shit trend stupid easy. And so they made it trend, and they were replying to things with fan cams and stuff because they're like, yo, I don't know why you guys brought our name up, but here's this, we're going to get our views off you, and, we're going to capitalize off of the situation that you put us in, even though we did nothing. And in this case, it makes sense. In this case, it makes sense because they didn't do anything. So they're capitalizing on potential publicity to boost their fan cams and bring more attention to their faves because they did nothing. So this was a troll that actually made sense. But once I seen this, I'm like, oh, I kind of chuckled because I'm like, yo, okay, they didn't do anything, so they're doing this. But it made me think of the times that they were the issue and they were the ones putting fan cams under shitty things and just trying to be evil people. And that is why I wanted to kind of just come on here and say what I had to say. So I feel a little bit better talking about it, but I kind of want to just, how can we stop this? How can we try to shut these accounts that are responding with fan cams under every single thing down? It's hard because you could just make a new account. But what do you do whenever there's a horrible or sad situation going on and then you see people just replying with fan cams or saying that they wouldn't have died or they wouldn't have gotten kidnapped or wouldn't have gotten this disease or sickness if they listened to some group of, I don't know. What would you guys do? What do you guys do? How do you handle it? How do you think that we could be better as a community so that people or locals don't view K-pop as just a bunch of fan cam Twitter trolls or evil people? There's a bunch of good that is in the K-pop community. I see it. I'm aware of it. And others may not be able to because they can't overlook people being so distasteful, people being so disgusting and disturbing to overlook that someone has passed away or gotten this disease or something like that, because they want to get views on fan cams and boost streams. I don't know. But I'd like to hear what you guys have to say down below in the comment section. If you have anything to say, please feel free to do so. I'd like to have a conversation with you guys. And I hope you guys all have a good one. I'll catch you. Peace.